You have been taught to chase money, to work harder, to struggle longer, to fight for every dollar as if it were running from you. But I tell you tonight, money is not something you chase. It is something you attract by the law of your own thought. The reason wealth feels distant is because your mind has been trained to see lack. You rise each morning counting what you do not have, fearing what might be lost, doubting what you deserve. You call that being realistic. But realism has built more poverty than war ever could. If you understood the true nature of money, you would know it is a servant, not a master. It moves toward direction, away from confusion. It obeys certainty, not desperation. And tonight I will show you how to send out the command that causes wealth to find you. Think of it. Every fortune that has ever been built began in a single invisible act, a thought. Before the gold was mined, before the steel was forged, before the empire was raised, there was a man who believed he could. His belief drew ideas, allies, and opportunity to him as iron is drawn to a magnet. You possess that same power. But until now, your mind has scattered its energy between worry, comparison, and fear. You cannot draw riches with a divided mind. You must unify your thought around one clear, burning desire. And that desire must be spoken, felt, lived, every night before sleep until your subconscious accepts it as law. You may ask, how can I possibly attract wealth while I struggle to pay my bills? The answer is simple. Wealth begins in thought, not in your bank account. You must first create the image of abundance so vividly that the world cannot help but reflect it back to you. Tonight, before you close your eyes, I want you to build that image. Picture the life you are destined to live, not the life you endure now, but the one that matches your faith. See yourself living with ease, giving freely, walking without fear. Do not merely imagine it. Feel it as though it were already real. Money follows emotion. It flees from fear. Every time you think of debt, of lack, of what you do not have, you push it away. But when you think from gratitude, faith, and purpose, you become a magnetic field for opportunity. Ideas begin to appear. People begin to appear. Circumstances bend in your favor. You will say, that sounds like magic. It is not magic. It is law. Just as the seed responds to soil and sunlight, your life responds to thought and faith. You cannot plant weeds of doubt and expect a harvest of abundance. You must sow only the thoughts you wish to see made flesh. Do this tonight. Write down your definite chief aim in wealth. Not a wish, not a vague hope, but a command. Write it as though it were already true. I am living in abundance. Money flows to me in every direction. My service brings great value and great reward. Read it aloud before you sleep. Your voice is the instrument that awakens your subconscious mind. And once that mind accepts a command, it begins to act upon it without pause, drawing to you people, ideas, and events in perfect alignment with your statement. You will begin to notice coincidences, chance meetings, sudden ideas. That is not chance. That is the law of attraction through definiteness of purpose. Each night that you do this, you build momentum. Your inner vibration changes, your actions follow, your results begin to match your thought. But you must not doubt between affirmations. One seed of disbelief can destroy an entire field of faith. Guard your mind as you would your treasure chest. I have watched men transform their entire fortunes within 90 days of steady faith. Not because money fell from the sky, but because they finally stopped thinking like beggars and began thinking like creators. They replaced anxiety with order, fear with decision, and hesitation with action. You must understand this. Wealth does not come to those who need it. It comes to those who claim it. Need repels, decision attracts. When you think, speak, and act from the conviction that wealth is already yours, every cell in your being becomes a magnet for opportunity. Tonight you will practice this. Sit quietly in the dark and see yourself as the man who has already achieved financial freedom. What does he wear? How does he speak? How does he feel when he wakes each morning knowing he controls his time, his mind, and his destiny?